looking briefly at the storyline to start with, the Majin and the Tapeo, the main character, they actually meet in coincidence. It's a coincidence that they actually meet within a game. But having said that, as the game progresses, the players will be able to understand what the real meaning are, what's behind the two characters meeting. So the main character Tapeo is actually a thief, and he actually sort of wanders into the Fallen Kingdom in the castle to actually look for treasures. But he meets up with Majin as the story progresses at the very beginning, and the two actually work together in trying to leave the castle to start with. But soon they start to develop their relationship, and their friendship starts to increase as well in that sense. And the special relationship between the two characters will evolve as the game story progresses. So hopefully the players will be able to understand as the game progresses. So without going into too much details about the enemies, the players will face the darkness, the dark side. The reason behind the dark side will be apparent as the game progresses, but there are a lot of variations of the enemies. There's small enemies, there's big enemies, there's quick enemies. As you can see, Majin is big and he's strong, whereas Tapeo, the main character, is quite small. He's quick but intelligent, but doesn't have the power. So it's going to be the combination of the two characters that are actually required to beat the enemies as the game progresses. So, as I say, the visual does look Japanese in a sense. It's been created and developed by a Japanese company, so that's quite obvious. But the gameplay itself is quite Western market oriented. We have taken care of how the AI works, how the gameplay is to be executed throughout the game. So hopefully the Western audience will be able to appreciate the work we have done in the gameplay mechanism as well. So hopefully everyone will be able to enjoy the game at the end. The plot and the setting of the game itself is a sort of mixture of all the different cultures we see in the world at the moment. So it's very unique in many sense, mixing all the cultures together. So with that in mind, the music has the same approach as well. We sort of use the basic orchestra, adding all the different instruments we get from different countries and different cultures. So that's the music we have at the moment. You getting different orchestra instruments as well as Asian-specific, territory-specific instruments as well in that sense. As I say, the third-person genre is quite crowded at the moment. But considering the gameplay of Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom, the team actually felt it would be the best suited option to go to start with. And if they were to go for the first-person view, for example, the puzzle-solving aspects will be quite rather difficult to solve. So that's another reason they didn't take that approach. And the approach the team took, the third-person view, they don't actually see it as a third-person view game genre in that sense. They wanted to create something unique and outstanding from the other current trend we see in the market, like the FPS. So different approaches could be taken to actually consider the Western audience, looking from the Japanese perspective. Looking at Capcom, for example, they have an approach where they make the game in Japan, then sort of outsource it to the overseas market to actually make it adaptable to the market. That's definitely an interesting way of going around it. And he actually has a close contact at Capcom as well, and they're always talking about how to make the game more interesting for the Western market audience. And in that sense, Majin has tried their best to actually consider the Western market as well. So, hello everyone, this is Daisuke Uchiyama, the producer for Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. Please stay tuned for further updates, but we'll be planning to bring the game out during the winter, preferably before spring, so please stay tuned.